Hi, this is Lee from colouringqueen.net, and today I want to show you a little book. It's called Adult Colouring Book of Flower Inspirations, and it's based on floral patterns that you can colour in. It's by an artist called Aldridge. She has a number of colouring books out that if you like her style of art, you might want to check out the other books, some of which I've already reviewed. So we've got A4 size roughly. It's a soft cover, and at the front of the book there's a nice little title page with a small image for you to colour in. I always think that's a great spot to test out your mediums, because we all have a different technique in the way that we colour, and for some, a light touch is a rough touch for someone else. So see how they react with the paper. This book is printed on white paper. It's £60 bright white paper, and all these specs are inside it. It contains 24 illustrations in 2 sizes, so sit back and I'll show you what I mean by that. And the artist does suggest that you use a blotter paper in between, which you should always do no matter which colouring book you're using, so then you don't get pencil dents from pressing, and also bleed through or shadowing from markers that you might use. Now there's a thumbnail image presentation here of all the illustrations within the book, and these are printed on both sides of the paper. The illustrations are printed on single-sided paper. So then we start straight away with the first image, and they're all bordered with a lovely border around, and that border has been left with ample space between the completed artwork and the spine. So if you were cutting this out to colour on a clipboard like I like to do, you don't risk removing any of the picture, because there's been ample white space left around all parts of the image. You'll also see that the liner art is very clear and very crisp. It's a strong black, and it's a medium line weight on the whole, with some finer line weight for texture and dimension or extra detail in the artwork. Now, one thing that this artist does do, which thankfully, more and more artists are doing this, is she dates and signs her work down below as the artist that coloured this picture. So that makes it easy when you're posting your coloured in picture on Facebook and whatnot, and you've coloured so many you can't remember which artist did what, which happens to me. Then you don't need to worry, because it's already there and you can just add your name as the colourist down below. Now, I always think that the artwork that Christine does is sort of very like stained glass or mosaics or something like that, and this book takes that sort of theme or style and makes it all into these beautiful florals, and all her florals are just so symmetrical. They're really beautiful. Now you see that some of the images have more black in them than others, and that's obviously to give it more dimension, and some there's been little dots and whatnot added, for texture and dimension. So it's nice that all the art pieces look different from the others. They don't all look the same. There's a lot of differences between all these florals and whatnot. Now, this one looks like it's meant to be landscape, because I'm going by the signature, whereas the other ones were all portrait orientated. I don't think it really matters, but I will turn them around. This tiger lily looks so realistic. Now, that's the 24 full-sized illustrations, but this book also comes with the illustrations in 2 sizes. So these illustrations have all been reproduced so that they're sort of half-sized, if you like. Now, what you can do with these illustrations is colour them in and make them into cards, so you can fold them over and just make them into thin cards. But really what I would prefer would be to cut them out and to glue and decorate them onto cards, and they'd make something really unique. Now, you could also colour those in and put them in picture frames, or you could colour them in and sort of fold them over and make them into like little individual bookmarks to give to people. So all sorts of things that you can do with these smaller sized illustrations. The other thing that I like to do, because I'm not a very confident colourist, is that I like to sort of colour in something smaller so I can see if the colours I've selected look any good before I use that colour palette or those particular mediums on the larger picture. See, these would look great as cards to give to people. Now there's a blank couple of pages at the back, and that's just to test out your markers, or if you needed blotting paper to put in between the different pages there. Here's some more information on where you can contact her, and also her first book, and another spare protective piece of paper at the back. So on the back we've got some thumbnails of what's inside, and we've also got some coloured inspirational pictures from people that have coloured those drawings already, and she's put them on the back so that you can see what they look like coloured in. So that's it for Flower Inspirations by Christine Aldridge. Until next time, happy colouring.